Hey y'all, so let's talk about that season just a little bit more. So there is a life cycle, right, of trees and vegetation. So it is this appointed time. So the season is a period of time, and during those seasons, even if you look at our, summer, fall, winter, spring, certain things happen in certain seasons. And just like we have it in the natural, because the Lord so many times in his graciousness uses creation to explain spiritual concepts. And so there will be summer, fall, winter, and spring seasons in our Christian life, in our walk. You don't even have to be a Christian to experience it. It's just the way it is. So there will be times when we're producing fruit, harvesting fruit, and there will be periods of dormancy in preparation for the cycle to begin again. So the blessed one will produce fruit in his or her season when it is time. Does the tree work to produce fruit? Does it struggle or toil? No, of course not. Producing fruit is in the nature of the tree. Everything we read from Genesis 1, that's what God spoke and designed the tree to do. So as long as the tree remains planted and receives the nourishment provided, it will flourish. What a word for us, in the same way that if we will remain, which is actually we're going to get into in a couple of days, but if we will stay planted and fixed. And see, the temptation is, I'm laughing at myself right now at the words coming out of my mouth. I'm going to point my finger. I'm going to look at you, Nancy Jo. When things get difficult and when that heat is bearing down on us, it's hard for us to remain like the tree, because in the natural, in the flesh, and we feel things. And though the tree's leaf is as green as it can be, it is hot, and we're just in June. We've not even hit the heat of August here in North Carolina. And every day, in and out, the leaf of that tree will be as green can be, because it does not receive its nourishment, it does not receive its peace, it does not receive its strength, it receives nothing from the outside other than the storm, the wind, the rain, birds. We have a woodpecker that just pecks the fool out of that pecan tree. It receives the wind, the rain, the heat, the stress of the environment. You think about that. These beautiful trees, which right now are so green, as you look out, see anywhere, they receive nothing from the outside that you and I can see, except the beating, right? The work. And yet they remain stable and fixed, receiving all that they need from the ground beneath them. Isn't that, again, I love that he uses things we can understand. That if I will remain stable and fixed and not rely on the world that I see to supply me with anything necessary to life, if I will rely on the one that I'm planted on, if I will rely on the one who keeps my foot from slipping, who is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow, who is the Alpha and the Omega, the one who has sent the Comforter, Advocate, Intercessor, Standby, all of those that we read yesterday, Counselor, Helper, Strengthener. If I will rely on Him to supply all that is necessary for my life. Just like I'm standing here looking at that tree thinking, wow, magnificent, magnificent. God is magnificent. That's what it's about. That people will look at your life and say, her God is magnificent. That He keeps her steady in the midst of all. And that this heat, her leaf doesn't fade or wither. In all of this storm going on around her, she's not lost any leaves. And she's getting ready to produce. That be what people say when they look at us. Not for us, not because we've done it right, but because we have trusted in the one. That we have trusted in Jesus the Messiah, and He has taken us back to the very throne room of God, where we can obtain the grace necessary for right now where we are. And we'll pick up here tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.